All right, everyone, welcome back in. Last time Josh and I were talking to y'all, the Texas Tech Red Raider football team was in a good spot, 5-2, had just upset Oklahoma in their own place, snapping the 39-game home winning streak. And then who would have known they would have ended the season with 5 straight losses, and they became bowl ineligible. Josh, what happened?
They got outscored 256 to 102. That's exactly what happened. 5 straight games where the offense couldn't really get going, but the defense was really the main problem. You cannot go into games and allow 441 yards of rushing like they did to the University of Texas and only let them throw the ball 9 times and beat you 52 to 20. That can't happen. Then they come back off the Oklahoma win, come back to Lubbock. They lose to Iowa State with a true freshman quarterback. Let's remember that. Jared Barnett was a redshirt freshman coming into Lubbock and beat the Red Raiders 41-7. But defense was the biggest problem. Overall, their defense in the NCAA this season was ranked 114th. Their rush defense was last in the country, 120th. So that's where the main problems were. We saw what Tommy Tuberville did in the offseason with his coaches. I think he's done a good job fixing that problem.
Now, what can you tell us about this new guy that's replacing Chad Glasgow?
Well, Art Kaufman comes in from North Carolina. Essentially, he served this last season as the defensive coordinator. The 2 previous seasons, he served as the linebackers coach. But the thing about Kaufman is that he has 10 years of experience before that as a defensive coordinator. So this is not someone coming in that has been a linebackers coach or an assistant. He has been a defensive coordinator. He's a 28-year coaching veteran. Yeah, he's worked with Tommy Tuberville before, so it's going to be a good fit. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. Now he just needs the right players to put together a defense that can stop the run.
Okay. Now talking about the rest of the Big 12, there were, 8 Big 12 football teams that got into bowls, and they went with an overall record of 6-2 and tied the SEC conference with most wins by any conference in those postseason bowl games. Josh, how was this even possible? How did we do so well, the Big 12 Conference, in these bowl games? And which one stood out to you?
Well, first off, to get to your first point, the Big 12 Conference did so well because there was so much high-octane offenses in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. This was a season that really no one was safe in the Big 12 Conference. There was no team that was going to be able to run the table, a.k.a. an Oklahoma State that gets beaten by an Iowa State team and pretty much gets their ticket unpunched to the national championship game by a Big 12 opponent. But when you look at the NCAA ranks, there are 4 Big 12 teams that are ranked in the top 10 in the country in total offense. I mean, they were putting up Baylor 587 yards a game. That's unbelievable. And plus they had the Heisman-winning quarterback RG3, who's now going to go to the NFL. And the game that really stood out to me was the Alamo Bowl with Baylor and Washington. What other game are you going to see? What other team are you going to see put up 67 points in a bowl game? They broke 12 bowl records in that game. They win 67 to 56. RG3 was a beast. He had that one play where he rushed for 28 yards. He broke tackles. He looked amazing, threw amazing. There's NFL talent on that team. That one stood out. And the Oklahoma State-Stanford game. That one really stood out to me because Oklahoma State was really making a statement there saying that we should have been in the national championship game. In my opinion, the Oklahoma State-Stanford game was better than the national championship game.
I would have to agree myself. 21-0 for Alabama and LSU. Not that great of a game, in my opinion, the Snore Bowl.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to next season, what do you expect to see from Texas Tech as well as the rest of the Big 12?
Well, the rest of the Big 12, if West Virginia is able to come in, which right now that's what it looks like in looking at the future Big 12 conference schedules that West Virginia will join. You have to remember, West Virginia scored 70 points in their bowl game against Clemson. They won 70 to 33. Dana Holgorsen is bringing West Virginia in, and they will fit in perfectly in the Big 12. He's running a Big 12 offense. That's what exactly he's doing. He was an assistant here at Texas Tech. He also worked at other Big 12 schools, but now he has his own team going to bring it to the Big 12, and it's going to be a challenge to stop West Virginia. You look at TCU. They've been a team. Last year's Rose Bowl, they went in there and beat Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl on a big stage, and there are people saying they shouldn't have been there. They were there. Gary Patterson has his team ready to go, and they're going to be a threat in the Big 12 Conference as well. They're not losing a lot of people. West Virginia's not losing a lot of people. So when you look at the Big 12 Conference next year, Oklahoma will win the Big 12. There's no doubt in my mind they're bringing back Landry Jones, which is a huge quarterback to bring back. But some people point out that they brought back Sam Bradford a couple years ago, got injured, was out for the rest of the season, tried coming back, got injured again.
Yes.
So bringing back your junior quarterback for a senior season doesn't always work, but Oklahoma will win the Big 12 Conference. And for Texas Tech, they're bringing back a lot of their offense. Defense is going to be a big problem. Right now, I am finishing middle of the pack 5th in the Big 12. I can't put them in the top 5. I can't put them in the bottom 5. I think they're going to run right in the middle of the pack.
Mhm.
They could surprise some people, but I think West Virginia is going to be a team that's really going to surprise some people. I got them finishing 3rd in the Big 12. Kansas State. You got to remember they're bringing back Colin Klein next year.
Mhm.
Bill Snyder, he's got that team really going. I got them finishing 2nd. So your top 5 in the Big 12 next year: Oklahoma, Kansas State, West Virginia, TCU, and then Texas Tech.
Well, we will look forward to that next year with those 2 new additions in West Virginia and TCU. Well, y'all, until next time, this is Josh and Andrew signing off.